Victory is mine. Victory is mine. Victory today is mine. I told Satan, get thee behind. Victory today is mine. What's up, y'all? This is Ty. I'm singing that song. It has nothing to do with tonight's episode of Greenleaf. It's just that I had a great day. I got the victory in something today. Totally off topic. It has nothing to do with this. I'm not going to discuss it, but victory was mine today, and I'm very grateful about that. But I guess maybe because it's a church show, this song just popped in my head also, but it has nothing to do with tonight's episode of Greenleaf, which we're going to review right now. And this is season 4, and tonight's episode is the 5th episode. We're already 5 episodes in, and it was a pretty good one. So let's get right into it. Let's talk about Grace confronting her sister Charity. As we all know, Grace has this secret son that she had with Noah that she gave up. And that's why she was dealing with Noah and called Noah, whatever. So nosy Charity decides to call. This was last week's episode. She decided to call Noah and find out. She tried to call Noah and she left a message. Now, this caused problems. This is why it's important to mind your business. This has caused problems because this caused Noah's wife to ask why the Greenleafs calling you. What's that about? What were you doing up at the church? And then he told her he told his wife that he had a child. So his wife told him hit the road. And so Grace is now saying to Charity, why did you do that? Why did you call him? What did you call him for? You're not cool with him like that. And, in true snake fashion, she makes this excuse that, she's known him for a long time and she just was curious or whatever. And so Grace let her know, you broke up a marriage. You caused a problem. And she tried to flip it on Grace and say, no, maybe you broke up a marriage and all this foolishness. And this is what annoys me with Charity. But she did all of that, and then throughout the episode, we see her guilt, and we see when she's in the music room with the fellow musician, she's telling him she's done something wrong or whatever. Then we see her go to Phil, someone I really don't care for, and she tells Phil how she can't do this anymore. If she's not like him, she can't be digging up dirt. See, now she's trying to win me over. Now I'm starting to like Charity again. I'm like, okay, she says, I can't do this. You want dirt on Grace. I can't be the one to do it. It's because her guilt is getting to her because she's like, listen, I'm digging and pulling and digging, and I done messed up a marriage. But Phil is like, listen, I need you to get me some information. We need some information. Now, another thing that happened since we're on Phil, we learn more about Phil when Phil has his conversation with Charity, and he says, we're more alike than you think. And it kind of made me feel, okay, let's see what's going on with this. So Phil explains to Charity that he is Bob Whitmore. And she's like, what do you mean you're Bob Whitmore? Now, we know who Bob Whitmore is. That's the man that's runs Harmony and Hope, the monopoly of churches that takes over churches, just devours churches and turns them into this machine and not a church. This group of churches throughout the nation that all do things the exact same way because he's about the bottom dollar. And so he tells her that he is Bob Whitmore, and we're like, what do you mean by that? So basically he says every book, every speech, whatever, he writes Bob Whitmore's stuff. So Bob Whitmore don't have no talent is what you're telling me. He ain't got no talent. All his talent is just taking over and using people, and you can, and manipulating people. So he's telling her that, and he's saying, and that's why I needed to get some dirt on Grace, because he's promised me once she's out, I will step in and run Calvary. So lots of manipulation. So now Phil and Charity have this somewhat, whatever. I liked them a little bit better this episode, but still I'm like, yeah, okay, Whitmore's using you, but you don't have to do certain things to get, listen, what's for you will be for you. You don't have to stab anybody in the back and get dirt and manipulate people to get ahead. I just don't like that. That's whack. All right, moving right along. Let's go into charity. I'm not charity. Let's go talk about Grace and AJ, her son. Now, homeboy done showed up to the church unannounced, and she's like, "What are you doing here?" You see, Grace, I don't like that. It's time for you to come clean. This whole secret thing, bad enough you're trying to bond with this guy. Your daughter is turned off from you because of this secret. You're going about this wrong. To me, I feel like Grace is going about this wrong. Yes, I get it. It may jeopardize this, but the truth, it may jeopardize her standing in the church and her, her status in the church or whatever, and it brings another scandal. Hey, you're human. Listen, tell the truth. The truth will set you free. So anyway, she's got her son in there. She's telling him, what are you doing here? Whatever. He says he wants money. She said, I just gave you money. He's like, okay, and I want some more. Now I don't know. I like him, but I feel like in ways he's being manipulative as well, because I feel like, okay, yes, she abandoned you. You have you have that, those issues, that pain of being abandoned. And then and she's one who comes from a family of wealth, and she abandoned you, and you just feel it hurts. That part hurts. And I will never know how that feels because my mother and father kept me. So I get that. But at the same time, I feel like he's kind of like milking it a little bit. I don't know. I mean, but I still like AJ. So anyway, he's telling her he wants money. He needs money. And she gives him the money, of course, and she said, I'll give you some more. And she said, how's your job search going? And he says that the job search is going, it's going all right. It's, whatever. So, like a good mother, she reaches out to her resources, and she gets a connection to hook him up with a job. But before I go into that about her hooking him up with a job, there was a good scene where she's talking to her son in the office, and in walks Phil, and he's like, who's that? Now, he wants to know because, he's trying to get dirt on Grace. Grace is a little nervous. And then this turned me off with Grace. Grace sent her son out the back door. Oh, go out this way. Really? You're making matters worse. And as I was watching the episode, I'm like, Grace is really making matters worse when she does stuff like that. Like, you can't just do that. You just really cannot do that. So you're going to cause this friction. So anyway, we see her son go on this interview and deal with the guy, whatever. I assume he leaves. Oh, he has a conversation with the guy who's like, listen, Grace vouched for you, so you must be good. And the guy is singing Grace's praises, and this kind of bothers AJ. So this is the guy that's going to give AJ a job, and this kind of bothers AJ because he's like, oh, so you think she's perfect? And he's like, she's the closest to perfect that I know. She's just, well, he lists the things I've seen her do and this, that, and the third. And this is rubbing AJ the wrong way. And it's rubbing him the wrong way. Let me turn to my notes here. It's rubbing him the wrong way because this is the woman that abandoned him and holds these secrets. So he's like, yeah. So he, I guess, decides he's not going to take that job and leaves the job. And so Grace confronts him and asks him, why? What happened? What's going on? So he lets her have it. He tells her, listen, I just couldn't bear with how he was putting you up on this pedestal like you're so great and you're so perfect. And it's people like you. I was like, wow. He was like, it's people like you that think you're so good. I'm paraphrasing, but he was like, it's people like you that think you're so good that you don't see the things. You don't see your own shadow. You don't see the things that you've done, the things wrong and the pain and hurt that you've caused. And I was like, wow, that's kind of deep. He's got a point, Grace. He's got a point. But homeboy said, you know what? I'm sick of you. If I see somebody else and they ask me who I am, I'm not lying. I'm going to tell them I'm your son. But I'm sick of this. I'm really sick of you. I don't want nothing to do with you. So Grace is feeling really bad. And it's like, wow, okay. Really, she's feeling really bad. She's like, damn, my son, I don't know what to do. Moving right along. Let's move right on to Carissa. Carissa has asked Lady Mae for furniture. Now, I thought this was strange. You asking for furniture? Just come on, buy your own furniture. So, of course, her and Lady Mae have an exchange that's quite tensed. And Lady Mae says, no, you're not getting no furniture. The last time you did that, look what you did. No, you're not getting furniture from me. No. The answer is no. What happens? She sends the bishop to Lady Mae to try to convince. See, I don't get that. You're a grown woman. Listen, she said no, that's that. In the story, she sends the bishop over to try to convince him to get Lady Mae to give her the furniture, and the answer is still no. And then Lady Mae and Bishop had an interesting conversation because, you know, the bishop has been asked to speak at some place in Atlanta. The Lady Mae doesn't think he should go. He should concentrate staying here and let's focus on this. And then she also mentions to him that Bob Whitmore invited her to do some women's conference to speak at some other state that's part of this Harmony and Hope foolishness. And she says no. So they had a good dialogue and a good conversation where she's like, I said no to that. And then she's saying, you know, she wants to be loved and respected, and they get into this whole conversation about their dirty laundry, all the women he slept with and this and that. And he said, well, how do you think I feel about the things you've done and the guy you slept with and, you know, all that mess. So they had a very interesting conversation. That all ended with the bishop seeing things Lady Mae's way and telling Lady Mae, you know what? Okay, I'm not going to preach in Atlanta. Okay, good resolve. Now, Carissa decides, you know, because, you know, we about to move out. I got to get this off my chest. She decides she's going to go to Lady Mae and confront her and tell her how she really feels about her. So she gets up in there and she says, you know, I was going to leave you this letter, but I decided to tell you to your face. She said, you have always hurt me. You always made me feel bad. I always tried to get you to like me because I had issues with my own mother, but I always wanted you to like me and accept me, and you never did. Then she just went into this whole thing of everything is your fault, down to you know, all the family scandal and this Harmony and Hope, all of this is your fault. And she called her trash. She called Lady Mae trash. And you know, Lady Mae's so classy with hers. Get out of my room. Lady Mae smacked the earth, wind, and fire out of her. I'm exaggerating, but she did smack her. Lady Mae smacked her. Pow! Like, listen, don't talk to me like that, and you get out of here. And she was like, you're trash. You are old, rusty. What did she call her? Old and rusty. An old, rusty jalopy. And she called her an old, rusty jalopy and trash. I was like, damn, that was mean. That's what you calling Lady Mae? And, you know, that pissed Lady Mae off. And as things was about to get heated, you know, they're having their conversation. In walks the bishop. Oh, have you guys come to an agreement? And they're like, yeah, we've come to an understanding. So they're playing it off for the bishop. But that was a really, 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 really good scene. But this next scene I'm going to tell you about is hilarious because it ties into this. So remember, Carissa's husband is working for that basketball player, Dante. So Dante throws a party, and Carissa's husband, Jacob's their daughter, Zora, is at the party. So while Jacob is trying to pitch this meeting about this program that he wants funding for, his daughter keeps calling him. So he takes the call, and what does he find out? That this basketball player, Dante, is over here tripping out. He's about to burn the Confederate flag. I'm like, okay, let him burn it. But, you know, basketball player, you're in champion season, they don't want any controversy. He gets over there, he's trying to stop it. A fight breaks out between the players. Dante's acting the fool. So what has this caused? This causes Jacob to lose his job because this is a scandal, and he's supposed to be the one handling Dante, and he's failed. So now he's lost his job. Now he comes back to Carissa and tells her, listen, I lost my job. We're going to have to hold off on moving. Bam. Now, you see how this ties into the last scene? Carissa done cussed out Lady Mae, told her she was an old raggedy jalopy. See, you gotta watch what you say and do. Now you gotta stay in this old raggedy jalopy and trash, like you call it. Now you still gotta stay in her house a little bit longer. So she's looking like, damn, I just cussed this woman. I just told her off. And now I got to stay still in this house. That's why you should have made sure, you should have held that off a little bit longer until you were out of the house. Then you go off on her. See? Now you got some tension. See? That's when you were supposed to do it, but that's not how she did it. So that had me laughing because I said, wow, you did all that. You got it off your chest, which I'm all for people getting things off their chest, but look what happened. You got to sit right in her face, that same lady, because you got to stay in her house a little bit longer because your husband had lost his job. Wow. Great scene. Great scene. And finally, the last scene we see where Grace goes to Lady Mae and tells Lady Mae she needs her help. And she needs her help doing what? She needs her help with her son. And that's where it ended. So now it looks like we're finally going to be telling some truth here, and that this boy is going to meet, or this young man rather, is going to meet the rest of the family. That's probably going to happen in next week's episode. But that's it. This was a really good episode. I like where this show is going. I like what's going on. I'm thinking there's going to be I'm predicting, I think Phil is going to end up separating from Bob Whitmore. So there's going to, because I'm like, how are they going to get from under this Harmony and Hope umbrella? Something's going to happen. Something's going to happen. It really is. But the show, these episodes are well written. I'm really enjoying it. Tell me your thoughts. That's it for now. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. I see y'all out here. I see y'all watching this Greenleaf. Y'all enjoy my Greenleaf reviews, and I appreciate it. I appreciate the new subscribers. I appreciate the comments. I appreciate the emails I get. Thank you, and thank you for helping me grow this little channel. I appreciate it. So that's it for now. You have a great one. God bless. I will see you in the next episode next week. All right. Take care.